What if I told you that the greatest weapon in Norse mythology was born because of a fly? One tiny, pesky fly and one split second of weakness. Thor's hammer, a symbol of power worshipped for thousands of years. But few know the story behind it, a tale of deception, a deadly bet, and a god who managed to outsmart himself.
In the ancient days, when the gods of Asgard lived in their shining halls, Loki, the god of mischief and tricks, was always looking for fun. One night, under cover of darkness, he sneaked into the chambers of Thor and his wife, the beautiful goddess Sif. Sif slept peacefully, her long golden hair, shining like ripe wheat in the summer sun, spilled across the pillow. Loki giggled to himself. What if I play a little prank, he thought. Cut off her hair. Let's see how the thunder god reacts. He figured it was harmless fun. Hair grows back, right? And his tricks always spiced up the boring lives of the gods. With the skill of a master thief, Loki grabbed scissors. Snip, snip, and the golden locks fell to the floor. Pleased with his brilliant idea, he slipped away, already imagining the morning chaos. But morning brought disaster. Thor, the god of thunder, woke with the first rays of sun. He turned to his wife and froze in horror. Where once flowed magnificent golden hair, the hair he loved to stroke and admire, now there was only smooth, bald skin, shining like a polished shield. Sif woke to his gasp, touched her head, and burst into tears. Thor's rage exploded like an oncoming storm. His eyes flashed with lightning, his fists clenched. The whole of Asgard trembled at his roar. "Loki, this is your doing, you cursed trickster," he thundered. He knew instantly. Who else would dare such a mean prank? Thor stormed into Loki's hall, grabbed him by the collar with an iron grip, and slammed him against the wall. "I'll break every bone in your body unless you restore Sif's hair, and don't even try to lie. Your eyes give you away." Loki turned pale. He tried to joke. "Come on, brother, it was just a bit of fun. Hair grows back." Thor didn't laugh. His fist rose. Loki realized, time to save his skin. Trembling before the thunder god's fury, Loki promised to fix everything. He set off at once. Normal magic wouldn't do. He needed true masters. So he descended to Svartalfheim, the dark underground realm deep in the earth, where skilled dwarf smiths worked in eternal twilight. Their caves echoed with hammer blows. The air smelled of hot metal and glowing coals. On the way, the cunning god hatched a sly, ironic plan. To get the very best gifts, he would pit two families of the greatest craftsmen against each other, turning their pride into his tool.
First, Loki went to the sons of Ivaldi, 3 brothers whose hands worked miracles. "Have you heard?" he whispered with a sly smile. "Brock and Eitri are boasting they're the best smiths in all 9 worlds. They call your work child's play." Deeply insulted, the sons of Ivaldi flared with anger. "We'll prove who the real masters are," they declared. They agreed to forge 3 treasures for the gods, including living golden hair for Sif that would grow and shine even brighter than before. Then, without wasting time, Loki hurried to Brock and Eitri, 2 stubborn, talented brothers. He told them the same tale, but flipped. "The sons of Ivaldi mock you. They call your hammers toys for dwarves." The brothers weren't fools. They smelled a trick. Eitri narrowed his eyes. "Fine, we'll join your little contest, but on one condition. If our gifts are judged best, we take your head, Loki." Loki swallowed hard. No way out. His neck was already on the line. "Deal," he said, banking on his usual luck and cunning. Irony of fate, the god of tricks had tricked himself into a deadly bet. While the sons of Ivaldi worked quietly in their workshops, crafting with jeweler's precision, Eitri began forging in his forge. He ordered his brother Brock, "Pump the bellows without stopping for a single moment, or the work is ruined." Loki, knowing his head was at stake, decided to sabotage them. He transformed into a huge black fly. First, the fly landed on Brock's hand and stung hard. Skin swelled, but the dwarf gritted his teeth and kept pumping, unflinching. "Pff, I've had worse," he muttered. Next, the fly bit Brock's neck. Blood streamed, staining the bellows red. Still, Brock held steady, cursing the pesky insect under his breath. Finally, as Eitri placed iron in the forge for the last, mightiest weapon, the fly struck for real. It landed right on Brock's eyelid and stung with full force. Tears and blood flooded his eyes, blinding him. In unbearable pain, Brock let go of the bellows handle just for a split second to wipe the blood and blink. That tiny moment was enough. The forge flame flickered, the temperature dropped, and the handle of the forged hammer came out, too short. Loki, delighted with his victory, returned to god form and led the dwarves to Asgard for judgment. Now their work has a flaw, he chuckled to himself. In the great hall of Asgard, all the gods gathered, Odin on his throne, Freyr, Sif, and the rest.
First came the sons of Ivaldi. They gave Sif the golden hair. It instantly rooted to her head and shone brighter than ever, making Thor smile for the first time that day. To Odin they presented Gungnir, the spear that pierced any barrier and never missed its mark. To Freyr, Skidbladnir, the folding ship that fit in a pocket, yet sailed against the wind with perfect speed. Then Brock and Eitri stepped forward. They gave Odin the golden ring Draupnir. Every 9th night it produced 8 new rings of equal value, a true treasure for the king of gods. To Freyr, the golden boar Gullinborsti, whose bristles glowed in the dark and who ran faster than any horse, flying through air and water. Finally, before Thor they placed the massive hammer Mjölnir. Loki grinned wide, pointing at the short handle. "Look at this disgrace. It's not a hammer, it's a toy." But Brock calmly explained, "This hammer will never break, not even against a mountain. It always returns to its owner's hand, no matter how far it's thrown, and its power can crush giants with a single blow." The gods didn't deliberate long. They unanimously declared Mjolnir the greatest treasure, for it gave them unbeatable strength to defend Asgard from giants and every threat. Loki realized he'd lost. He tried to run, but Thor caught him by the leg like a kitten. The dwarves sharpened their axes, ready to claim his head, but Loki showed his cunning one last time. "I gave you rights to my head," he said with an ironic smirk, "but not to my neck. You can't spill a drop of my blood, or the gods will take revenge." Brock and Eitri exchanged frustrated looks. "Fine," growled Brock. "If we can't take your head, we'll shut that mouth of yours so you stop scheming." He took an awl and strong thread and sewed Loki's lips together. The god of mischief squirmed in pain, but deep down he knew his prank had brought Asgard its greatest treasures. Despite all his tricks, Loki accidentally gifted the gods wonders beyond measure. That was the biggest irony of his life, the trickster who out-tricked himself. Mjolnir became the symbol of Thor's incredible power. Its strikes summoned lightning and thunder, shaking the sky. Its weight was so great that only Thor, and later his son Magni, could lift it.
And so that short handle, born from one tiny fly mistake, forever entered legend as the mark of Asgard's greatest treasure.